and welcome to Woodbury City Style. We're here plowing the streets at Public Works. Every winter, the Woodbury Streets Division gets in their plow trucks in the early mornings and plows the streets of Woodbury. Joining us now is one of those plow drivers, Deb Harrison. Hi, Deb.
Hey, Emma, how's it going?
Good. So, how did you get into the Streets Division?
Well, I started in 2003 as a seasonal and went to college at the same time, kept returning several years, and finally in 2009 I went full-time because I love working outdoors and it's a great group of people to work with. They're kind of like a second family.
So what is your favorite part of driving the plow truck?
Making an impact on the community and helping people get where they need to go. It's also pretty fun when people notice that there's a girl driving a plow truck. Some of the reactions.
Yeah, that's awesome. So speaking of big trucks, do you share trucks or do you each have your own?
We have designated trucks. It helps us to get familiar with each specific truck and then also gives a sense of ownership for each driver for the truck.
So does each driver of the truck have their own plow route?
Yep, we do. We have 18 drivers and 18 routes plus a loader route for some of the cul-de-sacs and areas that we can't get into in the city just because of the design or the shape of them. We have designated routes just so you get familiar with every street, and it helps with the residents too that they start to notice maybe a trend or a pattern with that driver on how they do their route.
So how long does it typically take each driver to complete their route?
We have a policy that the entire city will be plowed within 8 hours. The 8-hour goal is a part of our snow and ice control performance measures, and we have met that for the past several years.
So how much snow has to fall for you and the crew to go out and start plowing?
Good question, and that depends on the weather. Typically, our bottom line is that we want to create safe roads for winter travel. So if it's freezing rain or drizzle, we go out as soon as we can and as soon as possible. We have 2 different types of roads in our plow routes that are designated for different maintenance. Our priority roads, which are our main collector roads, get treated at a higher priority because of the usage than a residential.
So what can residents do to make the job of the plow driver a little bit easier?
By following city ordinances, there's a no parking ban on the city streets in the wintertime from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. And also by keeping your trash cans behind the curb. Also, another ordinance is not pushing snow across the road or into the bulbs of the cul-de-sac where we use it for snow storage. We are trying our best to clear the roads in a timely and safe manner, so just patience is appreciated.
So Deb, we know that Minnesota's weather can be a little unpredictable. So how do you know when there's a winter storm coming?
Well, with this job, you become a little bit of an amateur meteorologist. You follow several different forecasts and just try to get the best idea of what's going to happen.
So when it gets icy, how do you prepare the roads to kind of melt that ice and make it more safe for drivers?
Well, we started last year with an anti-ice unit that we use for bridge decks and trouble spot areas that we can use to pre-treat the roads before the event happens to give a little bit of safer road conditions before we can get out there with bigger trucks.
Can you explain to me kind of how that breaks down the ice or melts it?
We use either a salt brine or calcium chloride depending on the temperatures of the road. It allows the product to be applied to the road directly and it stays on the road longer than if we would pre-treat it with salt rock.
So is that kind of those white stripes that I see down the road sometimes?
Exactly what those are. There's gaps left in the product where there's bare spots. It becomes really slippery if it would be shot as a spray.
So how do you proportion and manage the amount of salt you use on the roads?
Well, when we order salt, we order about 3,000 tons a year, and that's based on a 5-year average. In the past few years, there's been a big push to limit the quantity of salt that you use while treating roads because of the negative impact that salt has on the environment. So we've done our best to lower the quantity of salt we need to treat the road. Also, we've been plowing the roads more, and that helps reduce the use of salt too.
So when we don't have a winter that has a lot of snowfall, what are the other things that you do?
There's always enough around to keep us busy. Maintenance is a big part of our winter projects, and also We do tree trimming and removals of the city-owned boulevard trees, along with tree and brush removal around stormwater structures and ponds. We also have sign and signal maintenance that goes on all year.
So what's your favorite part about working for the city?
Working for a well-known progressive city, and also the tangible impact that we have doing the variety of tasks in the street division.
Well, thanks, Deb.
Thank you.